What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Twin Wrestle Pod. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. First off, I apologize for not making any videos because the last video I made was the AEW All Out review show. And there's been a lot of things that happened since that show has taken place. But WWE and WrestleMania, there's a lot going on there. TNA, Masha Slamovich, there's a lot going on there. Roman Reigns returning. I got a video in the works with WWE and AEW both respectively. I'm just trying to figure out what format I want to drop that video in. If I want to make a super edited video, I might do it that way because there's a lot of things I gotta get off my chest. And this is happening to prior to this past Monday's Monday Night Raw. But anywho, today we're going to talk about the Tuesday Night War between NXT and AEW, with AEW putting on their Title Tuesday show and NXT putting on their NXT Showdown with the roster of TNA Impact. And we're going to start off with AEW Title Tuesday. Now, this show was named Title Tuesday. I think this ain't the first time AEW has done it. If I remember to my recollection, they have done it multiple times. They were scheduled to move because of MLB, so they were scheduled to move to Tuesday. So we had the Title Tuesday show, and this was a good show. Don't get me wrong, but to label it Title Tuesday when you only have the championships that are not being decided at Wrestle Dream that's being defended on this show, it's kind of like moderate at this point. From my perspective, this show had the TNT Championship match with Kyle Fletcher defending his championship against Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, who we'd seen, but we ain't seen him in action on Dynamite. And I can tell you, I know he was in the pre-show at All Out, but I haven't seen him on Dynamite in a match capacity. He's probably been on Collision for sure, but not Dynamite in my eyes. Then we had Mercedes Moné, which you could have seen coming, which we all seen coming, really, being that she was doing the break the 500-day mark anyway. So they was going to put her on the show anyway. She had an open challenge. And it was answered by Lacey Lane, the former Katana Chance, or Kaden Carter from WWE. We'll get into these matches, but just for it to be named Title Tuesday, it was just weird because it wasn't really nothing but the moderate titles being defended. But let's get into this show, shall we? Strong out the gate, very strong in the first hour with Hangman Adam Page, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and his challenger Samoa Joe, 1/3 of the Ops. They had a promo exchange back and forth, and they was firing. Hangman had a lot of fire in this promo. Started out by saying how he owed Joe. He didn't give Joe this shot because Joe sucker punched him last week or anything of that nature. He gave Joe this title shot because he owed Joe, among other people. And those other people being Will Ospreay, being Swerve Strickland, etc., for putting their bodies on the line and helping him defeat Jon Moxley and the Death Riders once and for all in a fair fight back at All In to become AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And if you remember, Joe was carried out on a stretcher that night because he was attacked by the Death Riders. So he wasn't able to come out there. But the weeks prior to that, he was helping Hangman in his fight against the Death Riders. So that's the whole reason Hangman gave Joe this shot at the AEW World Championship. That's a crust of his first half of his promo that he cut on Samoa Joe. And then Samoa Joe's retort was fantastic as well by calling Adam Page a pretender. And yeah, everything he said is true in this promo. Everything Adam Page has said to Samoa Joe said was true. Adam Page wouldn't have won that championship without the help of the Ops. But, like I said, Samoa Joe called him not a champion yet, but a pretender. He don't see him as no champion. He see him as a pretender. And then Adam Page's retort to that was even more better. right? Because he says the longer the match goes, Samoa Joe can't outlast him. He's going to keep coming. He's going to keep fighting. And he's going to get back up. And sooner rather than later, the longer it goes, the match will favor Adam Page. And that was a straight shoot. At this point, we know Joe being up there in age. The longer the match goes, it definitely favors Adam Page. They did start out very strong at the beginning of the show with this promo exchange. I love this a lot. This is one of the two highlights for me in the entire show. The show overall was a good show, but Hangman and Samoa Joe set the tone at the beginning of the show. And it's proceeded to they ain't had no face-to-face like fight and everybody come out there and break it up. They just had like a face-to-face squabble, and then the security guards came out there and break them up. So very, very perfect way to start off the show. Then we lead into our first match, which is Jon Moxley versus Ishii, the Stone Pitbull. I really wasn't. We've seen Moxley and the Pitbull go at it once before, multiple times, as a matter of fact. I just wasn't interested in this match at all, really. Great hard-hitting matches as we know Moxley and Ishii to produce, but I just wasn't like just into it, man. I just wasn't. Moxley, I will say this: Moxley has been looking fabulous, brother. Like physically, his physique, 100, bro. Like you can tell he's in the best shape of his life, doing his Death Rider's ankle, bro. The best I've ever seen him in the pro wrestling at all. But Moxley picked up the win with the choke, made Ishii tap out. Just building more momentum for Wrestle Dream. Then we had the 6-man street fight with the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand, Ricochet, and the Gates of Agony. This was your typical all over the spot match. Typical street fight. Fun street fight. Fun to see Lashley and Benjamin in a street fight capacity, because I ain't seen them in a street fight capacity in a very long time. But you know what you're going to get when you get the heels coming out in all black and jeans. Everybody ain't coming out in wrestling gear, so you're going to get bodies thrown through tables, thrown over chairs used, X, Y, and Z, and all that stuff. A couple great spots in this matchup. Bobby Lashley lifting up, I think his name is Toy. I don't want to butcher his name, but Toy Loy, I think it's his name. I don't know his name by heart. Let me see if I can find it here. You know what I'm saying? I can't really see it. But Bobby Lashley on the outside of the ring lifts him up for the spine buster and spine busters him through the table. Great spot on the outside of the ring towards the finish of the match. The finish of the match actually saw Shelton Benjamin German suplex Ricochet through a table, which Ricochet got great air, which we're not surprised by that. Great air when Shelton released him for the German and picked up the win for 1, 2, 3. Another spot I want to shout out is Ricochet running off the stage and hitting the somersault flip onto everybody outside fighting. That was a great spot. That's just a spot only Ricochet can do. But Hurt Syndicate picked up the win. I thought the Gates of Agony were going to win, or the Demand was going to win, being that they beat them at back at All Out. But I guess you want to keep this issue going with these two teams. Now that they're one win apiece, so they're gonna have to settle this some way in some form of fashion. I don't know if it's at Wrestle Dream. Hopefully not at Wrestle Dream, because we had a lot of matches coming out of this show set for Wrestle Dream, and I think that's all you need right now for Wrestle Dream, is have all these matches you have set and give them time on the show. But we know Tony Khan is going to add extra matches to that show. But Street Fight was really good, for sure. Another match. Wasn't really looking forward to TNT Championship match, Kyle Fletcher versus Kyle O'Reilly. I haven't really seen Kyle O'Reilly on Dynamite as much. I seen him in the backstage segments with the conglomeration. They had one earlier in the night after Ishii and Jon Moxley, matter of fact. But I ain't seen Kyle O'Reilly in no wrestling capacity. I don't watch Collision like I used to, so I don't really see him as much. And for this match to be there just out of the blue, I'm just like, man, I don't want to watch this match. Like, truly don't. So I skipped this match. The outcome, we know what the outcome was going to be anyway. Kyle Fletcher was not losing the championship. He just won a championship a month and a half ago, so he's not losing it to anybody, and he's the guy they're building around. This was their second time facing each other, and Kyle Fletcher beat him the first time. Kyle Fletcher beat him this time, so nothing really out of the ordinary there. It just set up another match for Wrestle Dream. So now we have Kyle Fletcher defending the TNT Championship against Mark Briscoe at Wrestle Dream. I must say this, right? So for Mark Briscoe to go on a run he had about a month ago, right, where he won like 4 straight main events on Dynamite and then didn't get no championship match because MJF kidnapped him and, told Adam Page if he don't give him a title shot, he's going to set him on fire. So, okay. We get to All Out. Mark Briscoe beats MJF, and then MJF leaves. And now Mark Briscoe is just demoted to the TNT Championship and not having a match for the AEW World Championship when he beat the guy who just faced the World Champion is just, what are we doing? Like, they just got to have a spot for Kyle Fletcher, I'm assuming. So, out of this match, we had Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe at Wrestle Dream. That's yet another match set up for Wrestle Dream, and we're going to have more of that as we progress to the show. Then we had Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita versus Bro Dito in a double eliminator match. So if Bro Dito win, Takeshita and Okada do not get a shot at the championships. If they lose, Okada and Takeshita will be next in line and have a match for the tag team championships. And this match was a really good match. Not really surprised. Bro Bandito, I don't know if it's a work or a shoot or not, but he came out bandaged like over his left shoulder, and he was favoring that throughout the entire match. He pulled off some impressive moves though, even still with one arm. One move in particular on Takeshita. I don't know what the fuck he calls it, but he lifted Takeshita up in like a tilt-a-whirl position, slammed him, and got a near fall. That was pretty cool. I'll give him credit for that, for doing it with one arm. That's fucking amazing strength by Bandito. But not a surprise. Bandito was fucking awesome. I just wish he lose that fucking Ring of Honor championship because he don't need it. Okay, if he's gonna be the AEW Tag Team Champs. This match showed a little bit of tension between Okada and Takeshita, which we've been seeing for months, really. At the beginning, when they were coming out, Takeshita came out first, and then Okada cut Takeshita off before Justin Roberts can announce his full name, which is funny as fuck. And for the finish, Okada stole Takeshita's, similar like LA Knight did to CM Punk on Monday. Okada did the same thing to Takeshita yesterday. So, okay, I don't know where they're gonna go with this. They're probably going to have Bro Dito retain, but I would have Okada and Takeshita win those championships at Wrestle Dream since they beat these two yesterday. And now we have the match most likely set for Wrestle Dream, most likely. I think it was actually confirmed, if I'm not mistaken. So it is confirmed that Okada and Takeshita will be facing Bro Dito for the AEW Tag Team Championships at Wrestle Dream. I will have Okada and Takeshita win that match again. Just because Bandito is, he's hurt, man. So we got to play that into the storyline. But the storyline is going to be with Okada and Takeshita, and those two eventually facing one another for the AEW International Continental Championship somewhere down the line. So that was a great match. It was just cracked my top 2, but it's outside the top 2 for me. Next matchup we had is Mercedes Moné defending her TBS championship against Lacey Lane. The former Kaden Carter from WWE, her former tag team partner Katana Chance, you know them too. The legit, the only tag team that was on the main roster in WWE to hold the championships, the only legit tag team from NXT to the main roster. This is another match I didn't really see. But these two familiar with each other from being in WWE together around the same time. But I'm pretty sure they had a excellent showing for sure. Anybody Mercedes is in the ring with, besides Britt Baker, that match they had at All In a couple years ago, or All Out a couple years ago, she has turned everything to gold that she touches. So not really surprised there. Mercedes was not going to lose this match. She's literally this close to breaking the record and becoming the longest reigning TBS champion of all time. So they're not going to have her lose no time soon until she breaks that record. So we can all see that happen. But great showing for Lacey Lane. I'm not sure if she's all elite or she's just doing stuff from the indies and they called her up. But we'll see. Time will tell, man. But she a much needed addition to the AEW Women's division. Now they can get Katana Chance to come over. That'd be another way to bolster that division with the tag teams. But last time I heard about Katana Chance, I just watched her YouTube channel probably like last week. She said she was out like 3 months. She had to get like nose surgery, so she's been out dealing with that for a while. So she haven't really been on socials or nothing for the last 3 months. She's doing something with American Ninja Warrior. I think she's like hosting it or commentating on it now as of late. And she's doing something with her fitness journey. So she may be coming back to wrestling or maybe not. So it's up in the air. That's the last I've heard of her since her YouTube channel. So be looking out for that. She may come out. She may not. And my final spot that's in an A tier for me is the main event. The return of Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Very good match between the two, but do we know these guys have tremendous chemistry going back to their match at Revolution? What's that, 2023 maybe? When they had that fantastic match back there. But these guys have wrestled maybe like 5 times already at this point. And Pac came out there, man, Pac is fucking huge, bro. Like, we know he has a good physique, but this motherfucker is, he's competing with like Brock Lesnar, bro. That motherfucker is huge, bro. He got the short haircut. He's sporting new gear now, the singlet, which is kind of cool. But this match was fantastic, man. This is the best match in my opinion on Title Tuesday. Not really a fan of the Darby shit, but everything outside of the Darby shit was fantastic in this match. Orange Cassidy doing the fucking hands in the pocket, just throwing himself off the top rope through the announce table, through the table outside the ring that had the ring bell where Pac was laying on top of. Awesome spot. The tombstone spot they want to be brought into the crowd on top of the stage in Daly's place. Pac hitting with a tombstone inside the crowd. And then Darby handcuffed, or should I say ankle cuffed, Pac's leg to one of the barricades outside while Orange Cassidy got to the ring. And Pac eventually broke the chain off. He beat the count. He just rolled in at 9, and then he rolled into Orange Cassidy. I don't know if he hit him with the orange punch or not, but Orange Cassidy hit him with I think he rolled him up or something. And he got the pin, and he won the match. Then after that, to everything that happened after this match was just fucking crazy, man. It was ridiculous. So at the end of the match, Darby returns. Everybody from Death Rider starts attacking him. So Wheeler Yuta comes out there. Pac is already on the charge to get him. Claudio comes out there. And Darby is pulling out these various objects. So he has this black duffel bag. He already used the handcuffs. Then he jumps down into the crowd, shows the taser to Daniel Garcia and Claudio. And then he gets escorted back toward the side of Daly's place. And then Jon Moxley comes from the side, and everybody from the Death Riders is holding Jon Moxley off, not letting him get to Darby. And then Darby was at the side. The camera pans to Darby, and he has a Molotov cocktail, and he's about to set it on fire. It's just ridiculous. Then he got talked about security guards. They broke the bottle and shit like that, and this was just so awkward. This ending is so awkward. Like these last 2 out of the last 3 weeks with Darby have been very awkward ass endings. The one when he came out there with Chris Statlander, gave the birds to the Death Riders and went into the crowd like DDP did to the NWO back in the day. He came out there with the fucking flamethrower. Was awkward. Not like he did the flamethrower with Jack Perry where he set him on fire. That version was awkward. That just happened 2 weeks ago. Now this version with the Molotov cocktail was very fucking awkward. But it just built into more and more stuff for Wrestle Dream. And let's go over the Wrestle Dream card. It's a week from Saturday. As of right now, I believe they have maybe 7 matches, if I want to say. Let's see. What's the card? Let's see. No, this ain't gonna pop up. It's gonna pop up something else. I ain't trying to deal with that right now. Let's back off. Go back. Okay. Let's see. Wrestle Dream. We have Tony Storm versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. Darby versus John Moxley. No, I don't know what kind of match it is. I Quit or something. Last Man Stand. I don't know. Then we have Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. Kazuchika Okada and Takeshita versus Brodito for the AEW Tag Team Championships. The Butts and Jurassic Express, who also had a match on Title Tuesday, but they shouldn't really had them have a match. They should have had like a promo segment or something. They beat some squad. I don't know the name of them dudes. Some dudes you will never probably fucking see again. Respectfully. But now we have, they beat KM and Orion. I don't know who the fuck that even is. But now we have the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express at Wrestle Dream. And I think that's about 7 matches that I can think of. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more. Knowing Tony Khan, there will be more. I won't be surprised if Mercedes Moné have a match on there. I won't be surprised. Well, TNT matches on there, so that's what, got to be at least 7 or 8, right? Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe has been added to the show. So we're already going out there in matches. So that's AEW Title Tuesday. Not a great show, not a bad show, a good show. Now, let's get to NXT Showdown with Matt and Jeff taking on Dark State for title pretty much. TNA Championships and NXT Tag Team Championships. And this crowd was fucking white hot all day pretty much throughout the entire show. And when I, pun intended, when I say white hot, you see the Hardys wearing their all white gear. It's cool to see Matt and Jeff in WWE yet again, just under the TNA banner. This is Dark State. I'm not really a fan of this group. Last time I seen that they was beefing with Joe Hendry, but not really a fan of this group. We already know going into this match who was going to win, who should win, because we've seen a lot of WWE talent with TNA championships, and being that the Hardys have a very big match coming up this Sunday against the Dudleys in one final table match, the Hardys were going to win this match. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And Dark State, just not, as a group, they're just like, with all due respect, they like actors playing wrestlers, man. I don't take that group serious. They like the Retribution 2.0. Matt and Jeff are the new NXT champs. So, not really a surprise there. No one is surprised by that. So, hopefully we can see both Matt and Jeff appear on the main roster sometime. That'd be fucking cool. And as of today, like the last hour or so, they have just announced that the one final table match with the Dudleys and the Hardys will be for all the gold. So the TNA titles and the NXT tag team titles. The Hardys are not losing that match because this is Devon's final match. Bubba Ray's going to have sporadic appearances here and there. Matt and Jeff are the only active wrestlers that are there almost on a weekly basis. So they're not going to lose. Then we get to the traditional Survivor Series traditional tag team match, starting with the women. And when I see this format, I love this format, man. Just made me miss the traditional Survivor Series format that WWE used to have. It's crazy that I see this, and it reminds me, like, the last great Survivor Series they'd had with the traditional format was the one with Keith Lee, an NXT product. Roman Reigns, the final two in that matchup, in the men's matchup. And you know. And then after that, it went all downhill with the brand supremacy shit. But we had the team of TNA Knockouts champion Kalani Jordan, the Inspiration, the former Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, TNA Tag Team Champions, and the former Jakara Jackson, Mira Sade, and a tag team versus JC Jane, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and Lola Vice. All women in this matchup are pretty much stars, especially on the NXT side. Some of them need to be on the main roster, especially on the SmackDown side. They need help. But Jada Parker, JC Jane, the NXT Women's Champ, Lola Vice, Sol Ruka, who's not only the WWE Speed Champ, but the WWE Women's and North American Champion as well. This match was a very good match, man. Very good match. I didn't see Billie Kay get eliminated, so I don't know if she got eliminated during a commercial break or not. I don't know. But there was a little bit of sloppy moments here and there. But outside of that, it was a really good matchup. NXT Up and Down had a very good show. This was the show I favored over Dynamite, actually. Because I think every match, the crowd was up. Every match had purpose. And every match was building for something for Bound for Glory. So it helped. Most of this TNA and NXT crossover don't benefit TNA to an extent sometimes. This spot actually benefited TNA a lot. They got a lot more than they have since the partnership has been done. But I would definitely say watch this match. This is a fun match to watch. Outside of a little bitty botch here and there. Great spots. Sol Ruka with the bat flip joint. Kalani Jordan. Like, everything was pretty cool. I think the first one to get eliminated was Lola Vice, I think. No. It wasn't Lola. It was Jada Parker. Jada Parker was the first to eliminate. She got eliminated by Mira Sade. And then right after that, Sade got eliminated with the Soul Snatcher. So this moonsault, Mira Sade, she overshot it and she missed it. So that was one botch there. And after that, she eliminated Jada Parker with a roll-up, if I remember. And then directly after the roll-up, before the commercial break, Sol Ruka hit a beautiful Soul Snatcher by bouncing off the ropes onto Mira Sade and eliminated her right after she eliminated Jada Parker. Pretty cool-ass spot. And then Lola Vice eliminated Peyton Royce with an amazing bat fist. That was an amazing sale job by Peyton Royce there. She hit her with the big boot, and then Lola Vice came out of the blue, just boom, bat fist, elimination to Peyton Royce. And then after that, Billie Kay got eliminated. I don't know how she got eliminated. I do not. Maybe she got counted out or something. I don't know. But she just eliminated after that. Lola Vice got eliminated by Kalani Jordan. And JC Jane and Sol Ruka defeated Kalani Jordan to be the sole survivors for their team. And Team NXT picked up the win over Team TNA. The good thing about these traditional tag team matches is you can tell stories. The greatest story that WWE have told in these traditional tag team matches is the match with Team Bischoff versus Team Austin, when Austin's job was on the line and Shawn Michaels gave that wonderful performance. It's not a surprise because Shawn Michaels, the greatest wrestler ever lived, right? But if you go back and watch that Survivor Series from 2003, the story Shawn Michaels told, man, being bloodied in that match, being down like 4-1, 3-1, and he coming back and just this close, saving Austin's job. Man, that was fantastic storytelling. That was one of the greatest Survivor Series traditional men's team matches of all time, bro. That's what these matches give me feels for. WWE don't book it like that no more, but NXT, they tried to book stories within the tag team matches, and we'll get a little more of that come throughout the show. So Sol Ruka and Jesse Jane are the sole survivors. Then we had what was the best match of the entire night from both AEW and NXT. We had Mustafa Ali versus Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship. And during the broadcast, the CW were, you know how Netflix like blank out the audio a little bit, like if somebody say F you or something like that. I don't know if they was thinking the crowd was saying asshole when they was saying all ego, but it was getting to a point of annoyance where they kept blacking out the sound every time playing Ethan Page's entrance. It was kind of fucking annoying. Really, it gave me vibes of USA Network SmackDown and shit on Fox. I mean, with Fox just bleeping out every fucking thing, it was annoying. But this was a fantastic match between Ethan Page and Mustafa Ali. Not a surprise. at all to me. Mustafa Ali is fucking super talented. For him to be let go of WWE, those couple years he was let go was fucking crazy. When he was on the path to face Dominic for the NXT North American Championship, and he got released right before they can have the match, and he was going to be the one to beat Dominic for it, and to the stuff he's doing with TNA now, man, this is not a surprise, man. They had a fantastic match, bro. Ali is so good, bro. And WWE need to re-sign Ali, period, point blank. And Ali can't catch a break, really, man. Pro wrestling. We all remember Kofi Mania when it was supposed to be it was supposed to be Ali supposed to be in that spot. He got injured by Orton. Kofi took his spot, and the rest is history after that. And then not a year later, Money in the Bank, he's supposed to be the one to win the briefcase, and then change the plans the night of, and Brock Lesnar comes out there and knocks him off the ladder, and we have Boombots Brock. But the finish was crazy. It was strategically put that way. So they did something toward the announce table, if I remember. I think Ali did like a suicide dive, and they both went tumbling over the announce table. So once they get up out of the announce table, Ethan Page gets up into the ring first, and then Mustafa Ali gets up, and he goes to climb the rope. He goes to climb to the top rope, and the wire from one of the, I think Booker T's headset is wrapped around Ali's ankle, and it was tied strategically. You can tell Ali he did that strategically to set up the finish. And he couldn't dive off of the rope because the headset was tangled up in his ankle, and that caused him to lose. And Ethan Page hit the finish, and he retained his NXT North American Championship. I think we all knew we all knew that Ethan Page was going to win this match because he's been doing a lot of stuff with everybody in AAA, whether it be Dr. Wagner, Mr. Iguana. So he's going to do something where maybe he's going to face one of them for the championship in AAA. So there was no way he was going to lose this matchup. And Ethan Page has been doing great work since he debuted in NXT. But what this match showed is WWE needs Mustafa Ali back for sure. But this was the best match of the Tuesday Night Showdown. Then we get on to the traditional Survivor Series men's team. We have Mike Santana, the captain of Team TNA, with the team of Moose, X Division champion Leon Slater, international champ Kazarian. I didn't even think that championship was still a thing in TNA. I remember when LA Knight was holding that championship back in the day in TNA. Drew McIntyre, shit like that. I didn't think that championship was still in play at all. But fantastic team there, taking on the team of Trick Willie, Javon Evans, Miles Bourne, and the NXT heavyweight champ Ricky Saints. Now this match was decent. This match was just setting up more story to work both companies will be doing heading after Sunday and into Sunday. Miles Bourne did a phenomenal flip, landed on his feet after this on everybody. Javon Evans came in like a ball of fire, and that really cost him. He came in and he tried to do his finish, and Leon Slater rolled him up. So them two interacted enough to where they saved a lot for Sunday. They didn't interact as much in the matchup. So you want to get everything, all the high-flying stuff between these two when they face each other for the X Division Championship this Sunday at Bound for Glory. Trick Williams came out there, eliminated. I don't even think he eliminated Leon Slater at all. But Miles Bourne was the first to be eliminated for Team NXT. Kazarian eliminated him, and then Javon Evans got eliminated by Leon Slater later. So that was 2-4 advantage for TNA. So Ricky Saints and Trick Williams for Team NXT. Moose, Kazarian, Mike Santana, and Leon Slater for Team TNA. This is where Javon Evans was a ball of fire, brother. Then after that, he was gone after that. Trick Williams, I think he eliminated Kazarian, and then Kazarian was the only one eliminated from the team. And it was a point in this match where Trick Williams was going for the tag to Ricky Saints, but Ricky Saints got pulled off the apron, but I believe it had to be Moose at that point. And then him and Moose started brawling on the outside. But Trick Williams didn't see that. And then as Trick Williams was about to set up another move, Ricky Saints tagged himself in. And then he started getting some offense in throughout the match. After that, he goes to tag Trick Williams, and Trick Williams jumps off the apron, leaves Ricky Saints for dead. Ricky Saints, he was fighting as much as he could. He was fighting as much as he could in there. I think he eliminated Leon Slater there. And then after that, he couldn't do nothing with a 3-on-1 advantage for TNA. Moose and Mike Santana finished off the job, and Ricky Saints lost. And Team TNA reigned supreme to end the show, tied 2-2. So 2 wins for TNA, 2 wins for NXT. Very good show, man. I highly encourage people to watch the show. The matches, the crowd, everything about the show was really good. The throwback theme of the traditional Survivor Series, men's and women's format, fantastic. Gave me vibes of the old days for sure. But I will definitely say people need to go out their way and watch it. Both shows were really good, but if you had to watch one show, I'll say watch NXT Showdown, because all the matches there were really decent and really good and really worth watching, because the majority of the stuff on this show was setting up things for Bound for Glory and after. So the NXT portion, the things that get set up for them, Trick Williams is definitely going to be the next challenger for Ricky Saints NXT Championship, because I don't see him beating Mike Santana this Sunday at all. Mike Santana will retain the championship, and Trick Williams will face Ricky Saints after that. And for TNA, we already know where it's going. You gotta be on the lookout for this pay-per-view this Sunday. So that's all I'm gonna say, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If so, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. Share, comment, and subscribe down below, man. And I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Peace out.